pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everyone for coming tonight. Start off with, is there any additions or corrections for the minutes for February 11th, 2025?
I make a motion to pass the minutes. I'll second that.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries to pass the minutes. Starting off with the fire department monthly report.
We've had 11 calls since the last meeting. And the only other thing I got is we're going to go into mutual aid contract with August for structure fires. Only structure fires. It works both ways. Mainly it'll help our ISO rating, which we're going to do in June. I think we're supposed to be down, trying to get it to a lower number. But mutual aid with neighbor departments is one thing that helps get that number lower. It's a pretty basic contract.
Alex had reviewed that. Was done.
Yeah, I think I handled that. Yep.
As long as you guys don't have no problem with it.
Is this just with Argus?
No, we have one already with TPU. We've been having meetings for the last year trying to get something together all around the deployment agreement
Yeah.
and vice versa. So
So
we're
this
still
is
working on it.
everybody?
Yeah, everybody.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass that mutual aid agreement.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There you go.
Air packs are in. I know I haven't been here in a while, but classes are over for now, so start meeting back at meetings.
Okay.
You want to plug your fundraiser?
Oh, yeah, we do have a photo fundraiser coming up, May 3rd is picture date, and we're using all the proceeds of that for a new thermal imaging camera.
Okay.
It's been a great response to that.
Yeah,
Yeah, from what we've gotten, that's been increasing.
yeah, we do it every 2 years, so.
Where do they do the pictures at?
Right here at the fire station.
Okay. Anything else, Chad?
No, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chad.
Moving on to old business, the bell tower. I believe there were two estimates.
Yes, sir.
One was for 40,000,
40.
one was for 80-some thousand. And you were gonna do some comparing those two?
Yeah, they were all compared the same. It's just the prices were different in both of them. Everything's based off the engineering group. We had to do the inspection up there, so it's all based off all that. So, did talk with the engineer. Recommendations. His concern was some of the boards underneath looked like it had been sawn almost through, rotted one of the posts. He said then there's a leak. That was his main concerns. So it's in our summary in the report to the kids.
Yeah. You reached out to,
We reached out to the Historical Society of Marshall County. Grant money, but unfortunately it didn't get approved until this fall. After Roger talked to the engineer, he's not going to go. I didn't expect him to go one way or the other, whether we can extend it out or not.
yeah.
Reviewing the pictures with Roger. My only concern was that bell. We discussed that bell when the contract was written. That they would determine whether it had to come out or not. Obviously, the Historical Society doesn't want to see it come out. So we haven't talked to her. But my suggestion to Roger was if we come down to that situation with that, then maybe we can use some of that grant money to put the bell back in after the repairs are done on more reinforced. Because then apparently him and Steve went up there and looked at it, and that bell is being supported by wood structure, not steel structure.
Yeah.
And that is a concern.
Yes.
So at this point, I don't know that we've got much of an option, especially if it's leaning, especially if it's rotted. I think if we have to take the bell out, we probably ought to do a special session, have a meeting, and make a decision then on whether we wanna wait for it or move forward on it.
When they do this project, can they do it so that if we wanted to put the bell back in?
That would probably be an extra cost on our part.
Yeah. We gotta fix it. I mean,
Okay,
that's
so I know
that's
some place, and I would say we start fixing it. Well, which one did you recommend?
I would recommend Millwood here with a little bit.
Okay.
and they're local.
And they're local, we're here in town.
Yeah. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Millwood, for what, $48,000
$48,100.
to do the repairs. If there's any concerns over the bell, we need to revisit that at that time and make a decision quicker than the regular schedule.
Yeah. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye. Motion carries.
Roger, I'm assuming that you're gonna make sure that engineering expectations are.
Yes, you can do that.
Thank you.
Moving on to, is there anything else on the bill?
That's it, thank you.
Moving on to electric vehicle, I know we brought it up last time, I called V and asked specifically if we entered into this contract, it was binding, what's, the status of it. It's still being frozen until end of April, May. It would not be binding until they spend any money out. They would not sign that contract until at what time that the grants are opened. Right now they're frozen. So I just wanted to bring up as how you guys wish to proceed with that. You guys want to sign it and get in line? I think Plymouth signed. Some other communities are signing
I
it.
don't know if ours did.
Yeah.
They're still in limbo about it.
Yeah, so, their recommendation was they anticipated that these funds would come available, in 30 or 60 days, and they're in line, and then they can start producing it, but, once they come available, we have to go another 30 or 60 days to get it approved, and it would slow the process down. So, that's, in a nutshell, is what they explained to me. Well, this is March, I mean, we could decide 1st of April and sign it.
I think I'll hold off a little bit longer to see what the economy does, in my opinion.
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree with that. I'm just not sure about all that anyway.
I don't know what's going on here with everything that's being changed right now.
I'll get tabled. Moving on to new business. Marsh County Council.
Hi there.
If you wouldn't mind coming up and, we got a new microphone, if you could, maybe you can talk loudly.
Okay, Janice Holliday, I'm the Director of the Marshall County Council on Aging. I came to tell you about our transportation service, in hopes that you would continue to help support us financially for that. We service the whole county, and we go pretty much within a 2-hour radius. We do everything in Indiana, but we go, so we cover the northern half of Indiana. Last year we did over 29,000 trips, and we did 296 for Bourbon residents. So we are here fairly often. That was up 84 trips from the year before, just for Bourbon.
Do you know what we gave last year, Kim?
$2,000. We had, in 2021, Mark Cottrell come and spoke behalf on the Council of Aging and asked for us to support that. We supported that then 22, 23, and 24, $2,000 a year at that point.
Well, I'm in favor of supporting it. I mean, it's beneficial to our community.
Right, is there a cost to, I'm new to this, is there a cost to the seniors also?
It depends, we have some other funding sources as well, so anyone that's, going to a medical appointment that's over 60, there's no cost to them. And that's from some Older Americans Act money, although we run out of that every year, because we only get about 20,000 from that. We also do Medicaid trips, so if they're on Medicaid, there's no cost to them. If they want to go, to the grocery store, Walmart, anything like that, our public rates are $2.50, up to 5 miles, and then it's $6, 6 to 30 miles, and anything over 30 miles is $11. So we take people to the airport, whether it's South Bend, Indianapolis, and that's pretty cheap. Yeah, when, I just ran the numbers, and our cost for a trip averages out to $20 a trip. So, charging them $2.50, and of course those lower mileage ones don't cost that much, but they're all, so, and half of it's subsidized by NDOT, so, they do give us 50% of our expenses every quarter, because it's the rural public transportation program.
And the majority, if you would know this, but the majority of the 296, I would assume maybe going to Plymouth. Is that what it is?
Plymouth, Bremen, a lot of them go to the doctor in Bremen, and also in South Bend and Mishawaka. We probably go to South Bend and Mishawaka 4 or 5 times a day. So we're averaging over 100 trips every day.
I'm in favor of it also.
Well, so now that you allocated that money to Dustin's place last month, what do you want to take it from, I guess is what I'm gonna ask at this point.
I thought that was from 2024, we didn't, did we not?
What?
Did you say we didn't?
We didn't what now?
We gave them
No,
money
that
from
was,
2024?
no, we did, we gave them money 22, 23, 24, the last 3 years to, Marsh County on Aging. The money that, the majority of the money that you gave to Dustin's place come from opioid funds that, Project Hope had requested, and then never followed through on sending, a bill and things like that at that point.
See, well, match it, because we put extra money to match it, that has to do with the, can we do that?
Yeah.
I'd say pull it out of the match, if I'm above the match, if I'm up this year.
But we've got everything done that we need to down there.
No, we're still on the ice machine, I don't believe.
Nope.
Is there funds in that to do that?
Well, I mean, you can always move funds around, it's just gonna be, never know what is gonna come up, we're only into March, so who knows what could come up the rest of the year,
Right. I tend to agree with Jonah, in fact, that services our seniors there.
Yeah.
If we were to take funds, I think that would be an appropriate place.
Unless you have a better suggestion, Ken.
And it's gonna have to be moved from someplace,
Right.
one way or the other, it's
Easy.
gonna have to, in the general fund, it's gonna have to be moved in the general fund, so. It'll all get transferred at the end of the year anyways, it'll show that line item is gonna be overexpended, and then it'll all get transferred at the end of the year. Because, as I told you, when you go into your budget, the Department of Local Government Finance only really looks at how much you're asking for and how much you can support that with tax revenue. They don't look at my individual line items and say, you're gonna give them $2,000 and the Matchett Center's got $10,000 in it or anything like that. They don't look at that. As long as they have granted that permission to spend it, and we don't overexpend it, then those funds can be moved at the end of the year.
I say take it out of match it this year. I mean, that's my opinion. It's my opinion of it, it would be used, they use that probably more than anybody.
And
We-
I'm sure that a lot of the people that attend the rural services are the ones that use that service. I believe Jan is very good at letting them know that those things are available to them.
And, well, right now, I mean, there's some upgrading we can do, but
No,
I think there's some places that are done also, so I would say take this out of match.
Is that a motion?
I'll make a motion to get out of match budget.
I will second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we term it out?
2,000.
That'd be good.
Okay.
I have one question, should I come back when you're figuring your budget?
Well, no, so that's a very good thing, because I was gonna ask them to do that now. So, if that's something that you wanting to be in the budget yearly, you need to be letting me know that. However, and the discussion that we had last month concerning, big tax cuts that our governor has, in place at this moment, and do not get me wrong, all of these places are very well deserving of that, but you're also gonna have to be careful on giving your tax dollars to not-for-profits when you might not be having what you normally get moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I think that's one of the reasons why we've not done some of the stuff that we've done, so. It is what it is. I mean, they need it, they use it. I think that's well deserved, as long as we use the money properly and.
So I guess what really Janice is asking is, those come summer, does she need to come back to request that before we do the budget? Or,
I would right now, we have to wait and see what the outcome of these bills are gonna be. If these bills pass, and they do it with property taxes, then we're gonna really have to tighten our budget. If it doesn't pass, then we can reevaluate it and try to put it into the budget. So it's kind of at the will of what.
Well, I understand that. We're expecting cuts as well, yeah.
yeah,
For sure.
I think everybody is right now, unfortunately, at the moment.
How about if I just check back?
That would be fine, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you for what you do. Moving on to emergency contingency plan.
Every year, the utilities department has to update their emergency contingency plan. A lot of it is the updates of the contacts of, our employees, the council members. Of course, this year with our new water plant, we had the additional well house, or the additional third well. So all of that stuff has to be in there. And so that is just something that is on file with, the state, and, just definitely needs that approved for this year.
It's pretty much on the same every year.
It is, I mean, we changed some employees this year, so that was changed, and like I said, it's just updating, who's the council presidents, the members, and like I said, then we have changes with the water plant, and those changes have to be in there.
I make a motion to accept the emergency contingency plan.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then I need you guys all to sign that.
Right next to me. Get it.
I know.
Moving on to ordinance 25-01, amending ordinance 1996-2.
So I sent that to you, and then, I know Les, you had reached out to Steve, and then we went back and amended it, to add for emergencies. I know that that's what you was kind of concerned about. Steve also talked with Bill about that. Bill has said that it's never in the past that they went and turned anybody's on or off for them, that they have always contacted, the utilities personnel. So it got changed then to read, any non-emergency or emergency turn on or shut off of water service at the curb stop and or meter pit stop shall not be done by anyone other than the town utility personnel unless authorized in written or verbal confirmation by the utility superintendent. We had an issue here a month or so ago on a shut-off where the owner of the property turned it back on. We've had that happen in the past, and then the valves have broken, and then we have, like a major leak, which is not on their side of the meter, it's on the side of the town, so then that all figures into our water loss that is given to the state every year. And of course, that has always been a problem, that it's always too high anyway. So that is, it's just a changing of the wording so that it states turn on and turn off. Previously, it was just shutting it off, not turning it back on. And that's kind of where we have issues if someone is shut off for non-payment. They go in and they try to turn it back on at the meter pit, not having the correct tools, and it is property of the town. We've had meters that have gotten broken in the past, and that's like a $400 or $500 cost that, is absorbed by the town.
We don't lock those out.
You what?
When we shut them off, we don't lock them.
Well, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here. First off, there's no penalty for it, so how are you gonna prove someone did it or didn't do it?
In the there is, it's in our ordinance violations bureau, tampering with the pit.
Well, it's against the law of theft of services too, so
Yeah.
if someone is going out there and turning on their water after they've been shut off, that would be a criminal offense for theft of services, would it not, Alex?
Yeah, maybe criminal mischief as well.
If they broke the water pit, it would be criminal mischief then, so, we're already covered, I guess, by state law, by doing this. Another thing I got to thinking about, if I'm on a weekend and I'm doing a project on my house, and I call Bourbon Plumbing and Heating to come down and help me with something, and they have to shut off the water, is there something we can give certain licensed vendors access to shut this off?
Usually it's a call to one of the utility people or myself.
That's why I think would be
And
the simplest answer to that.
we either say, yeah, go shut it off, or we go do it. That's what we've been doing.
Yeah, but people's gonna do it anyhow.
I get
If I was gonna do a project and I need the water shut off, I would shut it off.
You can shut off the inside too.
Most people, a lot of people.
Most people don't have whole house shut-offs. You'd be amazed at the people that don't have them.
That's usually the first thing I ask if I do, hey, why you gotta shut down, put it,
If
shut
I'm
off.
responsible for everything from the pit to my house, and I need to do something on my property, you're limited.
But more than likely, if they're shut off, it's because of lack of payment.
Yeah,
So,
Les is getting at it, it's like, say remodeling his bathroom, and needs to shut it off, and it's Saturday evening, he needs to shut it off to hook the water all back up. And this, you don't have a shut off in the house, now what? He's gotta wait a Monday.
well, I get that, but I'm still back to, a phone call is
Yeah,
the way to resolve that.
And the way our phone system is set up, that after 4 o'clock and on the weekends, if somebody calls the office, it will go directly to our utility personnel. It goes directly to their phone, so they get the phone call saying, we've got an issue. Or the police departments have been contacted on several times, or people just show up at my house.
Or they show up at my house.
We have that also, so, one of the great things about living.
It does state in here verbal confirmation by the utility superintendent, so that could be a simple, yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead, yes.
that most people don't have the wrench for the meter pit, is the other thing. That's the other confirmation thing.
Fortunately, 3 out of the 4 live in town,
Right.
so it would be a quick response.
Paying overtime.
That's my
Well,
concern.
of course you're gonna be paid, you'll pay overtime if you have to come in on an emergency situation.
Emergencies, I agree, but you working on your bathroom, we need to afford to have to call our employees out of their private time to come shut the meter off.
And you know, a lot of people,
That state law already passed.
a lot of people, if they know that they're gonna be doing those things, will also contact the office prior to doing something like that on the weekend. And I know Steve and them have went down and shown, and let them use the tool, show them how to turn it on and off if they don't have the whole house shut off.
How hard is it to lock it? I mean, they make locks to lock.
Well, you can put a regular padlock on there, once the lid you can't actually, but when you shut it
Why don't
off,
you solve the problem, get a padlock that when these people are shut off, we padlock it?
that's if they're not non-payment.
Correct.
Yeah, as far as the
That's
other,
the issue here, right?
the issue is some individual shutting on and off without us knowing.
So
I think that's the
if
issue.
they're shut off, just padlock it.
Yeah, for non, we're talking non-payment.
Correct.
Yeah, that would be one way to keep them from turning it back on.
That's,
Um,
that would be my recommendation.
I don't know, how could they,
in
if they're turned off, it's got to be for a lack of payment.
yeah, but see, in the past, they have turned them back on. They've opened the spigot up and turned it back on. If you want a demonstration, I can take you out here and show you how to open it up, turn it back on, with just regular wrenches. So that's for non-payment, that's the issue there. And we've had that happen already, but it goes back to the criminal part of it.
So the only thing we're really changing here is
Shut
really
off
like
and turn on.
shut it off and turn off.
Yeah.
From what the original one.
Yeah, originally it was shutting it off, so there was, the only teeth in it at that point was if you shut it off at the curb stop. Not if you turn it back on, and that's where
But I do,
most of the issues is.
yeah, and I don't see the issue with that, but I do agree that we need, if we're gonna be locking people out for non-payment, it needs to be locked.
If you want everybody's locked,
That's a lot.
whatever, but, honestly,
How many
We
people
don't-
shut off a week?
Kim?
usually we have 12 to 15 people that we shut off for non-payment.
Okay.
Now, within an hour, 15 minutes, from sometimes when they're at the door.
How many people actually go and shut off the water?
Well, between 10 and 15 sometimes, but like I said, they pay the same day.
So the locks can't be that expensive, you just get 20 locks.
Okay, so it's the time to go and lock it, and they pay in 15 minutes and we got it back.
And
We
Steve
got
just,
it down, that's true.
Steve just texted me, said some of the kids, there's no way that you can lock them.
Some of them gotta crawl in underneath the house and get to go up and shut them off.
Well, that should be changed. Cause I mean, you're going into their house, so,
There's over 100 that have been non-accessible for the. I had this discussion today.
You don't have to pass it. That's up to you. If you don't want to pass it, that's fine. Steve was just trying to make it so that it addressed turning off and turning on.
I think some of this is on us, that if we shut somebody off, physically going out there and shutting them off, that somehow we padlock it. If we don't have that, then we probably should start changing these people at the service line.
And some of them we can shut off at the edge of the road to court stop. Some of them have to be at the pit.
Original one shut off. The new one is turn on and shut off. All they added is turn on. That's a little bit more
And-
explanation.
Because you charge to push them off, we charge to turn them back.
There's a $50 reconnect fee
Yeah, we can turn it
that
back.
they have to pay when their water gets turned
And-
on.
Whether you physically shut them off or not, you're charging them $50.
There's
That's-
yes,
That's for non-payment.
yeah, for non-payment, yeah.
But we'll,
Now, if they're doing a repair and stuff to their house, we do not do that. That's kind of a common courtesy, but for lack of payment, and they are shut off, for them to get theirs turned back on, they have to pay their past due bill along with a $50 fee.
So the people that have circumvented the system that you're saying recently, and then they wouldn't turn the water back on, did you turn it over to Bill to do a criminal mischief or?
Steve met with, it was a landlord that did it at his house, but he plumbed it wrong, and actually the wrong tenant was shut off because he didn't plumb it right. After our employees helped him do it, he then did it differently. So one of the tenants was shut off, and it really should have been the other one that was shut off.
And was
So-
this after hours, is this after?
Yes.
So this could have been an emergency situation then?
Well, but he didn't take the opportunity to call. He just took it upon himself to turn it back on. I mean, like I said, we sent him a letter, Steve talked to him, he's understanding it. But just when we were reviewing the ordinance, Steve thought it was in the best interest to have the wording changed. If you don't agree with that, that's fine. I'm just presenting that for him.
I think that it needs to be worked on and have some discussion on it to try to clean up our end of this stuff.
Okay, so you're tabling it, Les?
No, I'm just, if you're asking me, I'm voting at this point, we have a state statute that covers that particular issue on criminal mischief, and we have a state statute for theft of services, which trumps an ordinance violation. There's so many things that we're not doing, we're not locking these people out. I just think that if you're asking my vote, I'm gonna vote no. We have
If I'm understanding this right, maybe I'm wrong. We're just trying to decide here who can and cannot turn off the water, not violation, criminal charges or anything at this point. This is what I'm understanding Steve wants it for there to be an understanding.
Turn on or turn off?
Yeah.
The meter pits, the meters are all property of the town of Bourbon. That is all he's asking for.
That's correct, but I'm also responsible from the pit to my house, so if something happens with the water from the pit to my house, I should be able to turn it off.
You can't make phone calls.
That's your call, my process is I think I should be able to shut the water
I'll
off.
agree to table it if you work with Steve to direct it. Your liaison.
So, sure, that's what you want, but I still think that I should be able to shut off the water in my house. It's not gonna change anything as far as I'm still going to get charged a fee, how much usage I am.
I still am of the opinion that this is just purposely at this point directing who can and who cannot turn off a water meter.
And that's his argument. That's Les's argument.
I totally agree with
He's
that.
going a little bit more legal. That's his initial, that's nothing wrong, that's your initial argument.
Was that Steve's intent?
What?
To have it go beyond this?
No. Like I said, thank God the people of our community that we shut their water off. And usually, I'm telling you right now, it's habitual people that it is every month. If it is you, Les, and you're not shut off and you did not pay your bill, I'm gonna hang a tag on your door that said, hey, something must have happened in your life and you just blew it off. But most of the time, the people that we shut off are habitual, that are in here before the end of the day. I think we have maybe 2 meters in town that is padlocked, that have been padlocked for years. That people are living in those homes without water, the health department won't do a darn thing about it. But most of the time, our people are in here that afternoon or first thing in the morning. There's absolutely in my opinion, no need to padlock their pit.
If they've had the water shut off, then that's just,
And if that's the direction you want them to give,
if
from
there's
now
no
on,
one
that's
shuts off
fine.
my gas, they padlock it.
And that's your right as a councilman to dictate that to your utilities people, if that's what you want.
That it is.
So, that's a decision you guys need to make.
I already made my decision.
I thought this was an easy solution, but I guess it's not, so.
I still think this is just too complicated, that this needs to be very simply handled. I'm gonna vote in favor of it. I make a motion to accept it.
It is simple. I'll agree to that. Way I view it, way I see it. I don't agree with you, she just automatically be able to shut you off on Saturday, 4:30, because you're bothering the employees on their personal time off, because you don't wanna work on something on Saturday, if it's not an emergency. So, I'm gonna vote table it. I'm gonna ask Les to work with Steve without the law side of it, and come to an agreement. He's liaison on that department, and I think he needs to work with Steve to come up with the agreement on it.
We all agree to disagree.
Yep.
That's fine.
So.
Table.
Are you seconding the table now, or are you gonna second that he's tabling it?
Yeah.
You motion to pass.
I'll second.
Roger, what's your opinion?
We got a table, we'll discuss it and vote on it.
Do you think it needs to be discussed further, so that there's,
One of you guys thinks.
so there's direction rather than chaos?
Exactly.
I think it's. My
We
personal opinion.
already did.
Moving on to mowing.
What do you guys want to do with the mowing for 2025? Hoppers has mowed for the town for the last 4 or 5 years. I sent you a piece of paper where some other company in Bourbon reached out. So what's your direction?
The legalities of it, do we have to put it out for bid?
You don't have to because it's not that big of a contract.
We've done that, I know, a few times. And then the letter that I read, is they're interested in the park.
Apparently, it's just Westwood Park.
Yeah. I don't know that they wanna.
I think that if it's going to be contract, it ought to be all the parks.
Roger?
Yep, should be all the parts.
It's not just the parks, it's the
Manchester.
management.
Yeah.
But they don't mow all of Westwood Park, though, we mow the north half. Nope.
Says I was trying to get in touch with someone about doing lawn care for Westwood Park, for the park in Westwood.
What's offers mow? What
They
did they
mow
mow?
Ball Diamonds, the community park, Manchester Center, and then the south half of, Westwood Park, and which includes the dog park. Then we mow the north half of Westwood Park. And we also mow the parking lot, our parking lot, so we do that too.
Is, sorry, I lost your train of thought. Has Hoffer questioned about doing it?
No. I'm assuming he just assumes he's going to be doing it.
Well, I have to.
Well, they've already rolled baseball diamonds the North Island and the softball field, and I think tomorrow they'll go South Island, so they've already, I'm guessing they've already started.
They don't usually start until April.
Okay, that's fine, so they're getting.
And I don't see that, so you see it.
They started rolling today.
Uh-huh.
They started rolling today.
I'm assuming since they're already started on contract prices can't change.
Well, the contract probably had a date.
We don't have a contract with them.
Or we probably should have a contract, shouldn't we? Alex? Contractual agreement for services with them?
They normally will send a thing saying this is what we're gonna use and then they pay for the year. I have not received that.
Did they sign a contract a few years ago? No.
The council just voted for them to be our contractor to mow it.
Well, I don't think it's bad to have a contract.
Yeah.
I can't vote. I don't think we should split it up.
Well, I don't think we should split it up too. I don't think it hurts to open things up every few years, to competition to be fair and equal, because that's being fair and equal is what I think. And in this particular situation, I think that they're wanting to split it up. But I also believe that we should have maybe Alex set up a contract, what particular areas, what's expected of them, so there's no misunderstanding down the road, and spell that out.
Didn't you already have that, Roger? It was all set up at one point.
It was set up at one point, but I don't know if it was ever written down, I know it was somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think to know who's responsible for what.
I know about what they're responsible for.
I think. What are you saying?
If it's split up, my recommendation is not to go with, this, just to stay with what we had was off with Hoppers. However, with a contract, and to have Roger come up with the details of that contract as far as the places that they're mowed, what they're expected, and all the stuff that they have been doing, and what the cost of that is.
Okay.
And we could pass that first thing next month, which would be.
Are you gonna allow them to continue the way things are up to that point? Because what if we gotta mow?
We are built separately for them, rolling around with us.
I'm just saying, if you need to mow for some reason,
And then I might.
I hope they don't before the next town council
They
meeting.
didn't approve of the contract.
We're gonna allow them to continue until the contract's approved.
Correct. That would be my motion.
I will second that motion as long as we don't go weeks without something being on.
Can you put something
I
together?
think we get them together.
And get it at the town attorney. Anything else on that one?
Nope.
Moving on to department heads.
Approve of claim 7222 to $2,246,946.52.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims 7222 to $242,946.52.
Second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passed.
The redevelopment commission, there's a financial report that has to go to them every year. I sent that to the president, Robert Firestone, along with, I think I sent a copy of that to you, Les.
Did you just send that today?
No, last week. So, anyhow, it has to be reported also to the council. The balance as of January 1st, 2024 was $128,901.18. Tax distribution in June, $21,813.33. December's tax distribution, $20,613.64. Their expenditures for 2024 was $33,335.21, with an ending balance as of December 31st, 2024, $137,992.94. I also will be completing their financial report through Gateway, because I don't believe anybody on the commission will do that. Also, they're going to be doing hydrant flushing starting at the end of March, the 1st of April, which is coming very, very soon. And then just doing payroll here last month after our last council meeting. I just want to give a shout out to Roger, who has been here for 34 years, and to Bill, who has worked for the town for 27 years. I mean, that was absolutely amazing, and I appreciate you guys very much.
Yep, definitely so.
That's it?
Kim redevelopment. Did you get meeting minutes for January?
I have which one's the January redevelopment minutes? I have them, I don't have February.
Because there was a council change, I just want to make sure you do that. Rob Parsons on president.
Oh, I don't know if it says that in there, does it? I have the minutes from that, I just didn't have the ones from February approving the distribution to,
I talked to Tina, the secretary, and she said she dropped off the minutes to Macy.
okay, well, I'll check with Macy.
February. So I asked her to print that off again to me
Okay,
with the recent one we just had. So I'll give you a second copy of that.
okay,
Picture.
and I'll just put it in your redevelopment. So, Rob is no longer on that board?
He is, he's no longer president.
Who is the president? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry then, but I did send you this also, but I also sent it to Rob because I thought he was still the president.
Do you have an issue with doing? I don't have a gateway account.
No, I'll make sure it gets done.
Okay. Is there anything else that you need from me to help you with that?
Nope.
Okay.
It's all on the TIP district, so you wouldn't have that information probably anyways.
Yeah. Just want to make sure it's
Okay.
smooth. So, thank you, Kim, for helping with that. Chief Martin?
Yeah, my monthly report. And I would like to thank Roger, Street and Fire Department. I had an accident out in front of the apartments on Center Street. We had debris everywhere, and every single one of their employees came out and helped clean it up, and had the road open within 15-20 minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Roger. And your department.
And we are currently looking at, we talked a couple months ago about the reserve. And I was wondering if the council would consider changing our policy or adding that if a full-time officer resigns on good standings and they come back to the department, something like if they was on probation for a year, after that year, they get their service back.
Is it for reserve?
No, it's for, I'm looking at our policies to full-time.
I thought they said reserves too.
I think
So, full-time officers?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm listening.
I have to be honest with that, makes a motion, I think it should be a case by case thing. I think we've already set the example with one officer that left, and we didn't do that for him years ago. We've already set the example.
That's why I'm asking if you would consider changing it.
Bill, could you put that in writing or present to us, please? I would like to see that in black and white. Terry?
I agree. I'd like to see something written.
Standard operating procedures, is that what superintendent can departmental policy?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Anything else?
I included with yours the emails that I sent, just for record.
And then you're gonna send those emails to Alex?
Yeah.
And you're gonna write something on that for
Yep.
agreement?
Yep. Write that down on my to-do list.
Jonas, did you do
Yes, sure.
this? It's long. Roger?
The activity reports. Second thing, I'd like to hire a part-time person again this year for street and parks, if that's okay.
Do you have anybody in mind?
Not at this point right now.
So you just want to
Just
advertise?
advertise again like we did last year.
I'm in favor of that. That's helpful to the
Yeah,
town
right.
employees that they can be doing other things that they need to be doing.
I would assume same rate of pay and.
Yeah, at this point.
Maybe it'll be the rate of pay and when we change the.
This is a salary ordinance.
The other thing, brush pickup again, we're gonna start the yard pickup again on Mondays. Actually, we started, we just got an announcement, we started that. Spring leaf pickup will be from March 31st to April 11th. That's all I have.
We don't need a motion on the part-time position, do we?
Well, probably just so you can see with advertising or.
I'd make a motion that we give Roger permission to seek out a part-time employee.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Roger, what was your date?
March 31st to April 11th.
That part-time position, is it again from spring until fall? Or
Yes.
What's the timeline?
Let's see. From April to like October. That's what it was last year.
Or as soon as you find, or if you find somebody at that time.
Right.
Anything else,
That's
Roger?
it.
Susan?
The planning commission last month spoke with Mr. Getta. There's changing, his zoning. It was postponed until this month, and yesterday they passed his zoning change from residential A to residential B, so you can build, a duplex on 207 North Park Street, over by the Pentecostal Church. I'll be getting those minutes to Alex, and a resolution will be made, so we can get it over next month, to sign it into ordinance, if you so choose. And that's it, the BZA again that night.
Okay. Thank you. Alex?
So last week I got that discussion about the best way to get notice for these ordinance violations. So Bill and I sat down and kind of discussed that. Yeah, after having done that, basically I drafted this notice of ordinance violation document. I think I CC'd all you want when I sent it out to Bill. So Bill put it on the letterhead and make it nice there. I do believe this would be sufficient. I kind of envision, one of the Bourbon officers, basically posting this, at the residence, and then basically writing in there the days that they have to correct whatever the violation is. If they don't do that, then ordinance violation will get written, forwarded over to him, she'll get me, and then we'll get the file suit in the future. The officer himself can testify that he's the one that went out there and posted this. there won't be any question about the notice at that point. We shouldn't run into the same issue that we had in the home case.
So if we issue an ordinance violation ticket and they're not there and we post it,
Sufficient, it works.
we don't need to send certified mail.
Should we vote on this as an ordinance or a change in our procedure? Alex?
I mean, we're really changing the ordinance. Basically, we're following those section of it. We're not really changing it. It's more or less a procedural thing.
Okay.
I don't think we need to go for it.
Okay.
So this is good to everyone up as an ordinance violation. All one ticket at the same time.
But at the same time, give them the ability to correct.
And then they'll go back and give a ticket at that point.
Right.
Because there'll be a different timing with some of the ordinances.
Okay. And you do have that split up, you have that with your department.
We're gonna have a meeting.
Thank you.
That was all I had.
Patron comments. Council member comments.
I have none.
The only thing I got is I just wanna thank you guys, I mean, in today's world, 34 years and 27 years is remarkable service to staying someplace today, and working, and you dedicated your life to the town of Bourbon, so I just wanna commend you guys and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
They gonna adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn